This is my Life of Pi essay outline. I will start my essay with the lead. An archetypal quest pattern is a pattern that has been used in various novels and films throughout time. Many different versions exist that have been based off of the original by Joseph Campbell, who found that a lot of stories and myths in the world share similar outlines. I will then state my thesis. Yann Martel's Life of Pi is an effective modern interpretation of the archetypal quest pattern. My 3 topics to support this are: Number 1, Pi and the story have many different characteristics of a hero and a hero's journey. Number 2, the novel follows the different stages of a hero's journey. And number 3, the story fits into several different types of archetypal journeys. The first body paragraph is about how Pi's story follows the characteristics of a hero's journey. The first supporting point is the hero meets the monster. In this case, it's not the traditional monster, but a tiger. A quote to support this is, "I couldn't see Richard Parker. He wasn't on the tarpaulin or on a bench. He was at the bottom of the lifeboat." The tiger in the novel represents a monster, as when Pi and his brother were little, his father warned him to stay away from tigers as they are dangerous. My second supporting point is that the hero engages in challenges of physical and mental strength. Examples of this are when Pi has to train Richard Parker and has to survive his hunger. The quote I'm using for this is, "I was continuously hungry. I thought about food obsessively." He encounters difficult tasks but faces them head-on. The topic of my second body paragraph is the journey fits the stages of an archetypal quest. Pi is forced into the journey when he gets thrown overboard the sinking ship. One of the men interrupted me by thrusting a life jacket into my arms and shouting something in Chinese. When they took hold of me and lifted me in their strong arms, I thought nothing of it. I thought they were helping me. Only when they threw me overboard did I begin to have doubts. Pi is forced into his journey when he gets thrown overboard the sinking ship. The second supporting point is the return and reintegration with society. The quote I'm using for this one is, "Story of sole survivor Mr. Pasin Malutra Patel, Indian citizen, is an astounding story of courage and endurance in the face of extraordinarily difficult and tragic circumstances. Pi brings back a story to teach and inspire many. Pi's journey follows the stories of a traditional hero's journey." The third body paragraph is about the story forcing Pi into situational archetypes. The first supporting point for this was the task of survival. The quote I'm using for this is, "I didn't have pity to spare for long for the zebra." When your own life is threatened, your sense of empathy is blunted by a terrible, selfish hunger for survival. The fact that he was unable to care as he had to focus on his own survival shows just how serious the situation was. Another situational archetype Pi faces is an unbreakable wound and loss of innocence. Pi lost both of his parents and his brother. The quote I am using to support this is, "When the sun slipped below the horizon, it was not only the day that died, and the poor zebra, but my family as well. With that second sunset, disbelief gave way to pain and grief. They were dead. I could no longer deny it. I lay down on the tarpaulin and spent the whole night weeping and grieving, my face buried in my arms." This quote lets us know how upset Pi is about losing his family. Pi also watched the cook take apart another human. The quote I'm using for this is, "He died quietly. The life drained out of him like the liquid from his leg. The cook promptly butchered him." You don't see the world the same way after experiencing something so horrible. My conclusion sentence is, as Pi's story fits these situational archetypes, it is clear that it follows the hero's journey as well. In my conclusion, I plan to review the thesis statement and the 3 points made in the body paragraphs. Pi has many characteristics of a hero, but the novel follows the different stages of a hero's journey, and the story fits into different types of archetypal journeys. It will then end on an idea to leave readers with something to think about.